Alright, so I guess this is going to be a recording after the Christmas break. I actually did this recording like a week ago now, but I decided to do a new recording because I thought about something, and also I thought about a new couple of things I put to say about the Dino Tamer, but for the most part I'm just going to say almost the same thing that I did on the last recording. But one thing that came across to mind, it is going to be like the Into the Deep update changes, which I'll just do it post commentary, and after the normal regular commentary, the normal regular live commentary that I do, I will just cut the live commentary audio and then go into post commentary and letting you know what are going to be the changes from the characters moving forward. Also, another thing to keep in note is that I do have the Uber 10 legendary torch on my back, so it means that I will be using this legendary torch for every single character moving forward. And yeah, that's going to be literally the new item that I will be using on every single character, because a lot of majority wanted to see the the torches in general, and I'm just going to say that yeah, I will be using torches because torches are not that hard to get, but at the same time they're not extremely easy, and it is also a good point that this is endgame series, so might as well just use the endgame stuff like torches. So that is everything regarding this little topic right here. I may be sounding in a good mood because I kinda am. And yeah, that's going to be like everything regarding this little commentary, like this little live portion. I will put the timer on screen on when you should go into the deep changes. Well, for me, into the changes, that's going to be like this new stuff that is going to be available, like how much better the character is, and after the update with the new torches with 6719 light. And yeah, so anyways, let's move on with the Dino Tamer endgame video. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to another JNMG video. I'm your host JonNario and welcome to another Trove End Game, this time featuring the Dino Tamer. My Dino Tamer is currently sitting at 31,253 power rank. I don't know how to say number, but let's keep moving on. This is our death stats that you're going to see right now. 332,000, that's going to be pretty standard stats. Also another thing to keep it known, my light is almost old maximum, like the old maximum was 5819 and 5624. So you're going to see really close to like pretty much max damage, but I'm missing a lot of critical damage because you're seeing right there 1.7k, and I believe at max without critical damage here it was like 1.9k with full light. So yeah, that's going to be a really big oof because I do have a lot of magic damage roll with this character. And one thing to keep in note is going to be that I have 284% attack speed. It means that the character gains attack speed on level up. Moving on into my gear, attack speed, movement speed, all pieces of gear. This should be the standard that you should be using on Dino Tamer, because this is a character that uses basic attacks, so you need to use attack speed. And this is a character that benefits with movement speed because of the Dino Mount ultimate ability. Actually is now a movement speed buff rather than a transformation that actually makes your movement speed at stable 90. Now it's a plus 40 movement speed buff, so it's going to be really incredible. Like movement speed is going to be like a no-brainer for this character, and attack speed is going to be almost a no-brainer. You're going to see that I have Magic Find on all pieces of gear. This is the character that I use for Uber 8 like grinding. I think this is the best low portal character in the entire game, and I will explain once I get into Uber 10. And then Preferred Penguin, best ally in the game. And I already mentioned the torch. I'm using the legendary torch for every single character moving forward. Stellar Find, Magic Find Ring, Arcane, Chrono, Conjurers. Arcane, the reason I'm using Arcane is because at my current stats I cannot run without Arcane and kill fast. I can still kill pretty fast, but Arcane just makes it a whole lot better, especially on AoE. And Chromatic Emblem is a no-brainer. You should be using Chromatic Emblem with this character. If you're not using Chromatic Emblem, what the hell? Because there's a character that relies on ultimate ability, and the ultimate ability lasts for 24 seconds, and I believe the cooldown is 30, if I recall. 30 or 40, I don't know. But you need Chromatic Emblem in order to actually get this cooldown reduction, so you can use the ultimate ability indefinitely. So the Arcane Emblem can be changed to Trailblazing Emblem if you have high enough stats. But at my current stats, I need Arcane. So yeah, that's why I'm using Arcane. And I will be using the Wash Up Bunch per little food. If you're a Dino Tamer main, use this food. And if you don't have any of them, use this food. Trust me, you are going to benefit a whole lot more because this actually reduces the cooldown by 20%. It is going to be similar to like their Chronomatic usually effect, but it is going to be on a food. So you can use Preferred Penguin alongside the cooldown reduction from like the food, similar to like Chrono Q-Fleet, and then get the movement speed from Preferred Penguin. It is going to be an incredible like combination with these two, and I would recommend you to use them both. And the other thing is going to be the Glacier Ward Ice Age subclass. The reason I'm using the Glacier War subclass, it is because this character already has pretty much max attack speed. Even with ultimate ability, the ultimate ability with Class Gym will actually increase the attack speed by 25. And seeing that I do have 284, that means that I'll be shooting at 309. In other words, it's going to be over maximum. So I don't need attack speed increase for like the Lunar Lancer subclass, and this actually increases your total magic damage by 20%. This is going to be the best magic damage in terms of damage output for every single subclass in the game. We recommend to use this over the Lunar Lancer subclass. Even though it gives 5 less movement speed, it's still worth doing. Anyway, moving on into my gems. Finally, after waiting for like forever because food glitch. Anyways, the gems that you're going to see right now are going to be a 2-1 crit damage, a 2-1 magic, and a 2-1 magic across my empowered gems. My lesser gem, you're going to see a lot of magic damage rolls, so 2-1 magic, 2-1 magic, 2-1 magic, 2-1 magic, 2-1 magic, and this one is a 2-1 crit damage, so I believe this one is the same rolls that I had on my Ice Age way back. And you're going to see the rolls right now across my Fire, Water, and Air gems. There's no particular reason why I do have a lot of magic damage roll, is because I do always get a lot of magic damage roll with my, well, magic damage character, and my physical damage character get a lot of critical damage roll, which is kind of weird, but yeah, it's whatever. It's still a lot of magic damage roll. I could have gotten a little bit more coefficient if I got a lot more crit damage, but it's whatever. And then I will be moving on into my Cosmic Gem, which is fully light across all of my Cosmic Gems. So you already know light is the best roll for Uber 10 grind, so even Leviathan, so it is going to be the best. So my Empowered Gem recommendation is going to be Imperial Vanquisher, Paradise, and Class Gem, the standard as any other character. Class Gem is a no-brainer with this character because it actually increases your timer from 12 to 24 seconds, and it's actually a no-brainer to use it because you are going to use a lot less flash if you have the Class Gem. So 24 seconds of ultimate ability is a lot better than just 12 seconds. And the Vampire Vanquisher is going to be the best one out of everything, more than Pyrodisc, because not only it grants you movement speed, plus 20 movement speed, which is just incredible, but it also grants you a lot of survivability. The survivability is the one of this character's biggest weakness, because it doesn't have stun and it's a ranged character, but you know, it takes damage whenever you are attacking. But yeah, it's still one thing. It's like survivability similar to like something like Shadowhunter, if you can call it like that, because both of them are pretty much similar in that regard. But this one gains a lot more benefit from Vampire Vanquisher because it does a lot more damage per hit, and Vampire Vanquisher is percentage depending on how much damage you do. So Vampire Vanquisher is going to be better. Paradise is also going to be as important as Vampire Vanquisher because of the movement speed buff. And the movement speed buff is just incredible, and also it grants a lot of AoE, and the AoE on this character is not the best if you're just using basic attack, because basic attack only does 1 times damage, but I'll get more into that later. And the Stinging Curse I have is right here, was Stinging Curse, and you can use whichever you want. I would recommend you to have something like Cubic Current to help out with survivability, Volatile Velocity if you want to shoot away from really far away, or use something like Explosive Epilogue to help out with the pretty lackluster AoE, like I mentioned a little bit before. It's going to be really helpful on something like bosses that spawn a lot of minions, and also Curse Calls. So yes, use something like one of those 3 Empowered Gem abilities. The best one would be probably for Uber 10 grinding Explosive Epilogue. Anyways, I will be moving into Uber 10 right now. So what do I think of the Dino Tamer endgame? First of all, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you think of the Dino Tamer endgame? Where do you place the Dino Tamer in the top dungeon grinding characters in the game? Let me know in the comments below and tell me why, if you want to let me know what is your reasoning behind their picking on the Dino Tamer in your top whatever list on Uber 10 dungeon grinding characters. Oh yeah, pause the video right now. Alright, welcome back. Now, what do I personally think about the Dino Tamer? The Dino Tamer is going to be my favorite magic damage character in the entire game, and it is my 3rd overall favorite character in the entire game, but I will try to be as unbiased as possible, so if I say negative things about the character, this is just my own personal opinion. You have your own personal opinion, but I do have my own personal opinion. I'm not going to say, oh, this is fact, but I already did a video about personal opinions and just preferences. If you want, I'll leave a link in the description below. But I don't want to talk about everything about the personal opinion and preferences again. But anyways, moving on. The Dino Tamer. Do I personally think it's a top tier Uber 10 character? Yes, it is a top tier Uber 10 character. Is it the best? No, it is not the best character for Uber 10. Is it a really strong character for you to main for only Uber 10, like for only dungeon grinding? Yes, most definitely. It's one of the characters that you're going to enjoy a lot because of the constant growth that this character gets. It's not going to be like certain characters that are going to hit like a wall, which I'll just explain that wall in a little bit because it is very apparent on this character. And yeah, so let's move on with damage multipliers. Damage multiplier on basic attack, which is your main damaging ability, 3.5 times damage multiplier, 2.5 times damage direct damage, and 1 times damage AoE. That 1 times damage AoE is actually a really big deal because I actually thought that the AoE on this character was like insane, like top tier, and really it really isn't. Like, this is a character that you still want to do direct damage. You don't want to use AoE to rely on killing enemies. 1 times damage multiplier is the same as something like Neon Ninja, it is the same as something like Chloromancer, Lunar Lancer, or whatever. Even it is the same as something like the Shadow Hunter with the class gem. So 1 times damage multiplier is not a lot of damage per hit. However, compared to all of the characters that I did mention, all of those characters are shooting faster than this character. Chloro and Neon Ninja are already shooting at 2 times. Lunar Lancer is shooting at 1.75 and Shadow Hunter is shooting at 12 attacks per second. However, this character is attacking at 1.6. So comparable to all those characters, this is actually doing the least amount of DPS in the entire, like, comparable to all of those characters when it comes to doing AoE alone. The only good thing is just that the projectile seems to be pretty reliable on this character, unlike a lot of other characters, like for example Vanguardian Range Mode, which is kind of unreliable. But this one seems to be quite reliable, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind that you don't have to rely on using just the AoE on this character, because 1.6 attacks per second with 1 times damage multiplier is not good. Anyway, now we talk about the multipliers on that. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is going to be the net. If you're not using the net as a Dino Tamer, please just use it. It's just a why are you not using it? It literally is an ability that you just throw it down randomly, even if you do miss. It's only a 7-second cooldown. So yeah, you just throw it down like randomly. And yeah, just the stupid net, and you're going to dish out 5 times damage multiplier twice a second. I believe it's 5 times damage multiplier. Future me is going to correct me if I was wrong. And yeah, so the net is just going to be a really good ability, especially if you're doing a lot of speed farming dungeons. Like, let's say for example that enemy right over there, it is a dungeon boss, and let's say you're jumping around like crazy. Let's say you're just jumping, you see a boss right over there, you can just throw the net. Even if you do miss, it's still like worth throwing out, because you saw how many movements I lost, aka none. Like, I literally did not lose any movements while throwing the net. So even if you do miss, it's still worth throwing out, especially on something like Cursed Skull, which you can just see an enemy, it's the Cursed Skull, and just throw it down right over there, and you just saw right there, I was able to just kill the enemy almost instantly. That is going to be just better for something like momentum, for anything whatsoever. And also, you can say the same thing about the Dino Buddies. But the Dino Buddies doesn't do a lot of damage, but they take aggro, and one of them just died, like the one that I just threw. That's the only bad part, that they just die a lot. And yeah, so the Dino Buddies, you can throw them if you want, but the net is almost like very important. I will do this 5-star dungeon so you can see what I mean to use the actual net to its fullest potential. So let me just go ahead and do this dungeon right over here. So I don't have a lot of stats. I need Arcane, so I'm not using Trailblazing. So you're still going to see that I'm able to just kill the enemies much faster with the net. So just seeing that I'm just using the net like crazy left and right, I'm just destroying everything like crazy, like really fast. I'm trying to do this dungeon as fast as possible, but I guess I'm like having terrible luck spawning with everything. So yeah, so just keep enjoying this, me just completing this dungeon, and you're going to see that the net just makes everything much better. So just throw the net. If you're using Dino Tamer, just throw the net. Like, it's just worth doing. It does a lot of damage. There you go. Just completed that dungeon in like less than a minute with a 31 KPR Dino Tamer. So yeah, so just use the net. really, you really just are better off just using the net. It just kills everything so fast. It does a lot of damage, and it's capable of even one-shotting one-star bosses at max light, as max stats. So yeah, just use it, please. Just use the net. Now, what are my ranking on the Dino Tamer? So the Dino Tamer, in terms of my ranking, I will probably say is 4th at 31 KPR with or without torches, behind the Knight, behind the Vanguardian, and behind the Neon Ninja. The reason I say this is because at this point the Dino Tamer requires you to use Arcane, and even with you're using Arcane, you're battling against the top tier momentum type characters, which those characters are already one-shotting. So yeah, those characters, being that they are already one-shotting, they have a really distinct advantage over this character. I was using the Vanguardian a little bit before this recording, and the Vanguardian, I was literally just destroying every single dungeon, like one-shot, just one-shotting left and right, and my Vanguardian has worse stats than this character. So yeah, so the Vanguardian is going to perform a little bit better at 31k. At 34k though, the Vanguardian is still going to perform better, and Neon Ninja, but the Dino Tamer is going to perform better than the Knight because it already is moving a little bit faster, and the Dino Tamer is already killing fast enough that the Knight is going to pretty much be as equal to the Dino Tamer or slightly slower. So I'm going to die. I'm going to die here. My left bumper is not working. Help! Help! Left bumper, please work! I'm pressing the left bumper, but my controller is like being... Okay, there you go. Jesus, my left bumper is so trash. So I died. Yes, that happens a lot, especially with my broken left bumper. But yeah, the Dino Tamer is going to perform equal or a little bit faster than the Knight at 34k, but it's going to be slower than Vanguardian because you're using Arcane. If you're using Arcane, the Vanguardian is going to be faster. If you're not using Arcane, then the Vanguardian is going to kill faster. So the Vanguardian is going to outperform a little bit over the Dino Tamer if you're not using Arcane and if you're using Arcane. However, if we're talking about 34k PR, but with torches, that's a whole different story. The Dino Tamer, I will probably say that is second best, because the Dino Tamer, it is a character that gets a lot better the more stats that you add. It's the same across all characters, like obvious. It's just better stat means that you're going to do much more damage. However, certain characters like the Knight and Vanguardian, they rely on using high damaging abilities. Those high damaging abilities, they get to a point that they are already one-shotting everything. So no matter how much more damage you're actually dealing, you're still killing the same amount of hits. You're still one-shotting. You're not killing any faster. So the characters, they're going to feel much more consistent, but they're not going to kill that much faster. However, this character hits a lot of times with low damaging abilities, so it means that with more stats, it means that you're killing much faster. It is going to be the same as something like Shadow Hunter. And Shadow Hunter, it means that the Shadow Hunter kills way faster if you have more stats, but you know, this character is going to be better because it's faster and it does a lot more damage. Like, trust me, this character becomes extremely good at 34.1 max stats. Like, it just becomes ridiculous. You can even use it without like Arcane, and that's just ridiculous because it means that it's going to be faster than Vanguardian. It's going to kill just as fast as something like Vanguardian, even though it doesn't one-shot, but it still kills really fast that it doesn't even matter. And yeah, so it's going to be just better all around. However, the Vanguardian is going to outperform it in literally everything besides at that portion. So Dino Tamer is going to be a character that the more stats that you add, the less shot to kill that it requires. It's not going to be like the time to kill is not going to be that much drastic compared to a character that it is from, like, let's say for example a Knight that goes from 2-shotting to 1-shotting, because the Knight it uses Spirit Square, which is a slow damaging ability, while this character is shooting basic attack. One less shot to kill doesn't make that much difference, but when you take into account like 2-3 less shot to kill because you keep adding stats, it becomes like the difference just becomes that much greater. And that's the thing with the Dino Tamer. That's the big thing that I was thinking about it like yesterday. Talking about just thinking about the Dino Tamer, I was like, dude, this character just becomes way better the more stats that you keep adding, because I was using the character with torches. And yeah, it's just like that. Like the character, it just becomes better the more stats you add. If you're at 31, fourth best character, for me in particular in Uber 10. If we're talking about 34 KPR, third best character. If we're talking about max stats, second best character. And yeah, that's going to be just outstanding for this character. This character is an amazing character. It's so fun to play. It is so fun. It is my favorite mage damage character. In my opinion, it's the best low portal character. It's better than the Neon Ninja because even though it's lower than the Dino Tamer, it's just you can just attack with AoE and you will kill literally everything so fast that is honestly unreal. It's just stupid. But yeah, that will be everything regarding the Dino Tamer. Probably I'll just cut down into the deep changes with this character. Maybe I'll do it after doing the outro. But I will just complete this 1-star dungeon and call it a day. But yeah, that's the bottom line with the Dino Tamer. It is an all-around beast of a character that the more stats that you keep adding that, the better it becomes compared to other characters, which other characters just better stats. It still only gives higher numbers, but it doesn't kill in less shot to kill. So yeah, the character on this particular occasion, because it's a character that relies on basic attack on a lot of light and attack speed, you're pretty much good to go at that point. But that is all regarding the Dino Tamer. Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around. As always, I will leave you with the Dino Tamer into the deep changes in just a little bit, but leave a like if you want to help the channel grow, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and that is all for today. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care, and keep on hunting, and this has been the Dino Tamer at End Game, and see you with the Into the Deep changes with post commentary. See ya. Alright, so this is me post commentary, and I will teach you all of the new changes with the Trove Into the Deep update with the Dino Tamer. Number one is going to be it is a lot of changes, by the way. I'm just going to say that outright. Ultimate ability with the net one-shots normal mobs without arcane. It wasn't capable of doing so. Now it reaches the threshold of 16.5 million damage. Now it deals up to 18 mil damage if I recall. And that is capable of one-shotting all of the normal enemies. So it means that you can just throw the net and just forget it, and it will increase the momentum just exponentially, considering that the net is only a 7-second cooldown. That is pretty nuts. The second change is going to be the basic attack. It can now kill enemies with 1 direct shot and 1 AoE. Before it was 2 direct shots, so it actually punishes you to if you miss a shot. So you needed to shot like a third shot if you mess with the second shot. Now if you hit it once directly and if you do an AoE, you are capable of killing a normal enemy without arcane. Again, it just increases momentum to 11, and that is incredible, especially in 5-star dungeons. Next is going to be that the Dino Tamer is now capable of 2-shotting world bosses with arcane, and those are direct damage. So if you, before I believe it was 3 shots, now it's 2 shots. So it is just incredible. Like, it is ridiculous. Like 2-shotting a world boss, you just see a world boss dead. That's just out of this world incredible. And now it's capable of 2-shotting and 1 AoE against a 3-star boss. That's just mind-boggling to think, because right now you only had to shoot a 3-star boss twice directly and 1 AoE and it's dead. Like before, I believe you needed to hit 4 shots with direct shots, like actual direct shots, because 2 shots, I believe it dealt, I believe it was like 50 something mil damage, and the third shot actually left the 3-star boss just 1 shot, like with barely any HP, so you had to hit it once more with AoE. Now it's just 2 direct shots and 1 AoE, and that's it. That is dead. It's just ridiculous. And lastly is going to be that the ultimate ability nets now one-shots 1-star bosses, so it is capable of dealing over 46.1 million damage, and with arcane, by the way. And it's now capable of killing 3-star bosses with 2 ticks of damage. So you throw the net, it will tick twice and it will die. Like 3-star boss will die. So in other words, you can just combine the net will tick once and it will deal more than 50% of damage, and I believe you can just hit it once directly and it will die, like immediately. Like that's just ridiculous. You can literally just almost one-shot a 3-star boss with 1 net, 1 direct damage, and dead. That's mind-boggling. And those are all of the changes that I managed to find with the net and the basic attack, which are both of the important things to begin with, because you know you're using net and you're using basic. And yeah, those are with and without arcane, and yeah, it is incredible. The amount of changes with the Dino Tamer is just mind-boggling, because it actually just increases the character's effectiveness to like 11. Like the momentum just because skyrocket, like it's just incredible. Like if you have a Dino Tamer and if you haven't tried it out with the torches, get the torches, thank me later. But that is all regarding all the changes with the Dino Tamer. Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around as always. That is all for today. Farewell.